Hare Krishna, Vinaya Mataji. Thank you so much. Thank you for your very warm welcoming. Thanks to everyone who joined. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Oh, sorry. Sorry. I started speaking on mute. So thank you so much, Vinaya Mataji, and thanks to all the devotees who joined. And welcome to the call. So today we are seeing from Sri Brhad Bhagavatamrta, and today is session 22. So we'll start with the prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanaतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकाय चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं. नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते राधानाथस्वामिन् इति नामिने. नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन् इति नामिने. नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. Please accept my humble obeisances and dandavats to all the Vaishnavas on the call. All glories to Srila Sanatana Goswami, the author of Sri Brhad Bhagavatamrta. So we are continuing today our journey of Sri Brhad Bhagavatamrta. This is book 1 and today is session number 22. We are reaching the climax. So we have come a long way in our journey with Narada Muni. We started off our journey with the Prayag Brahmana in the Bhauma realm or in the earthly realm. We first met the Prayag Brahman and then we moved on further to meet the southern king. After meeting with the southern king, we heard from him about the glories of Indra. So we moved on to Swarga and we met with Indradev. And we further proceeded to see Brahma in Satyaloka. And on the recommendation of Brahma, we crossed the material coverings and we went and met the most compassionate Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva then guided us to go to Sutalaloka to go and meet with Prahlad Maharaj and hear instructions from him. Prahlad Maharaj spoke the glories of Hanuman and he sent us to Kimpurishaloka. So we went there and we got some nice association with Hanuman, the great servant of the Lord. And by the mercy of Hanuman, we finally reached we reached Hastinapur. And we met the Priya devotees, the Pandavas in Hastinapur. And the Pandavas guided us to go to Dwaraka, to go and witness the glories of the Yadus. Narada and us, along with Narada, we finally made it to the palace of Lord Sri Krishna, where we met with Priyatama, Uddhava, followed by Mother Rohini, Mother Devaki, the queens of Krishna and other close associates in Dwaraka. So now we are nearing the completion, and this is the chapter called as Purna, which discusses the glories of the Vrajagopis. So in our previous session, we stopped at a point where Krishna was brought back to the palace after his brief journey to the most beautiful Navavrindavan that was fashioned by Vishwakarma. So once he was back, the queens of Krishna were all present around him. They were not directly going and talking to him, but rather they were feeling a little shy and they were standing away from Krishna. They were just standing near pillars and other objects. But in that crowd, Satyabhama was missing. So that's where we stopped in our previous session. Satyabhama, in her jealous anger, she refused to appear in front of Krishna. So Krishna, he saw that Satyabhama was missing and he ordered her to appear there immediately. So this intelligent Satyabhama, when she heard that her lord wanted to see her, she bathed immediately and she came in front of Krishna. Now Satyabhama, being the very beloved wife of the Lord, she would never act in a way to disturb the mind of her Lord. She loved throwing tantrums, but she knew that these tantrums would actually give pleasure to Krishna. So Krishna, he being a very great romantic, he enjoyed these affectionate quarrels with his wives. Calming the anger of his beloved wives was one of the greatest diversions for Krishna. So after all, he's Rasaraj. He enjoys such pastimes and he's the topmost relisher of all conjugal rasas. So therefore, Satyabhama, sometimes she would throw such tantrums. There are other queens as well who had different moods. Like, for example, we know from Srimad Bhagavatam that actually Krishna, he tried to instigate one such fights with the most submissive Rukmini Devi, and he failed miserably. He tried telling Rukmini that, Rukmini shouldn't have married him at all because, after all, he said, I don't have any qualification. But you, Rukmini, you're so beautiful. And surely you must have found so many other better suitors than me who are more qualified than me. So Krishna was trying to stir up some anger in her heart. But what happened instead? Her mood was very different. She actually got very, very scared. Instead of getting angry, she fainted, thinking that Krishna would leave her. So the wives had different moods. Anyway, Satyabhama and her style of dealing with Krishna was very, very different. So she always loved to grab Krishna's attention in various ways, and she liked it when Krishna would do things for her. And Krishna also thoroughly enjoyed it. Now, at this point, when Satyabhama was called for, she came and she stood behind the pillar, and actually, even she was not willing to show herself directly. She just didn't want to appear in front of the Lord directly. The reason here was actually she was a little scared of the situation. Now, this Satyabhama, she was scared of the situation. She was known for showing her temper, but at this time she was a little scared because she felt she had gone a little too far. She knew very well in her heart that the Lord's service should not be performed haphazardly. So she felt some discomfort in her heart. She felt maybe she went overboard. Maybe she was showing her anger at the wrong time. So she didn't come directly in front of him, and she was behind her pillar. But however, Krishna, he understood that Satyabhama had come because of the unique fragrance of Satyabhama. So he was he knew Satyabhama's fragrance and he knew that Satyabhama is around. And there were so many other subtle signs of Queen Satyabhama that only Krishna knew. So therefore, he understood that his dear wife Satrajiti had already come. So Krishna said, Hey Satrajiti, you're so weak minded. Huh? You're angry with me for the intense love I showed to the Vrajavasis? This is so much like how you became angry with Rukmini when she got the Parijata flower. If the Vrajavasis decide and if they want, I will simply renounce everything. I will simply renounce everything and go there. But the truth of the matter is that I can never pay back those Vrajavasis for all that they have done for me. Even if I renounce everything and go there, I can never ever pay back for what they have done for me. So I really don't see how much me going to Vrindavan is going to help them in any way. As soon as they see me, they become dazed, they become bewildered, and they completely lose their external awareness. In their state of prema, they exhibit vimoha, an exceptional trance, and they forget everything. They forget their bodies, they forget their family, their position, their responsibilities. They forget everything. And when they see me, they lose all contact with reality. I really don't see any hope of restoring their health by me going back. If I go back, I will only make their condition even more worse. Their pain won't just be relieved by seeing me. The reason is because their hearts will become more disturbed by the thoughts of separation from me again and again. And whatever measures I take for their happiness is actually only going to double up their grief. Actually, it is explained that in the trance of their separation, the devotees of Vraj, they were aware of nothing but Krishna. Their love was so deep that as a natural effect of their remembering Krishna, they were actually seeing him physically in front of them. That was the result of their remembrance of Krishna. So we see in Bhagavatam the story of Dhruva is discussed, right? So how did Dhruva see the Lord? First, he was concentrating on the Lord. He fixed in meditation with his mind. He concentrated his mind on meditation. He fixed himself and he saw the Paramatma in his heart. But that vision of the Paramatma disappeared, and after it disappeared, the Lord physically appeared in front of him. Okay, so the vision he was seeing from within and the vision of the Lord he was seeing in front of him were actually different. So the Lord disappeared from Dhruva's heart and he showed himself externally when he came. This happened with Dhruva. So the internal vision of Dhruva did not expand into the external vision. But for the gopis, the effect of remembering Krishna is that they see him physically in front of him, in front of them. So this is how gopis actually see Krishna. So one may suggest, still, if Krishna was presented nicely in front of the gopis, their condition would really improve. I mean, why should Krishna restrain himself from going there? Taking Krishna and presenting him in Vrindavan would definitely give some relief to the hearts of the gopis. This may be true, but to recover the gopis from intense separation, that would take time. So the Vrajavasis, they were thinking that when Krishna, even if Krishna was presented in front of them, they would think that Krishna would leave them again and go away. So in that mood, they might again relapse into their trance of separation. So therefore, Krishna thinks returning back to them will only cast them into deep suffering. Now, for example, for us to understand, let's take this example. When a person who has not eaten for a very, very long time suddenly begins to eat, the vital elements in his body are completely depleted, right? So it will take time for this person to recover. Okay, suddenly when he begins to eat food after several days of not eating anything, after many, many days of fasting, and he has lost all his weight and he's become really weak and frail, when he begins to eat food after it is presented to him after a very long time, what happens? It takes time for him to recover, for him to become strong and nice like he was before. So, just by keeping food in front of him, he cannot recover. You just present some nice Rajbhog in front of him with 10 items or 12 items, that is not going to recover this person. Okay? So this person has to eat the food in such a way that his body is nourished and he has to wait for the nourishment to be distributed throughout his body. So similarly, Krishna says that simply by seeing him in front of them, the Vrajavasis will not really recover. They will have to enjoy the pastimes with Krishna and not just for a short time. They should enjoy it for a long time, so long as it takes for them to completely fulfill their desires. Then only they will feel nourished and they will feel happy, okay, after the long separation. So, in that case, actually, Krishna can never return back and resume his duties. He can never return to Dwaraka and resume his duties. So, Krishna says this is going to take forever. Okay? They are not going to recover like that. So, therefore, Krishna says it is impossible to actually cure the Vrajavasis. Not only that, if Krishna goes there, the Vrajavasis, they will be in constant anxiety that Krishna will leave them any minute. They know, okay, he's going to stay here for some time, but he's going to leave. So there is a constant anxiety in their hearts. They are thinking, oh, Krishna is going to leave us, Krishna is going to leave us. Krishna is going to leave us, Krishna is going to leave us. That is the thought that is going to be there constantly in their mind, because this anxiety is an eternal part of their very existence. Just like water, supposing you take water and you throw it on an oil fire, a fire that is caused by oil, what will happen? You think the fire will get extinguished? No, there will be a huge explosion. So generally it is told that when fire is caused because of oil, grease fire, you don't extinguish it by throwing water. Rather, it will explode. You should keep water away from it. So similarly, it will go out of control, right? So like that, Krishna doesn't actually know how to pacify them. It's very difficult to deal with this situation. On one hand, the Vrajavasis, they don't know how they are going to survive in separation from Krishna. On the other hand, even if he stays with them for a very long time, they will inevitably worry that he might leave them at any minute. So this is the most exquisite agony of Viraha Bhav that actually only worsens their grief if Krishna goes there. So just like how heat is an intrinsic quality of fire that was imparted during the time of creation, similarly, there is no way that Krishna himself can withdraw this ecstatic nature of Viraha that is present in the heart of the gopis. It was imparted by him as an intrinsic quality that is present in the hearts of the gopis by his mercy. So it is very difficult to withdraw that feeling of viraha from the hearts of the gopis. So actually, this viraha is the greatest glory of the Vrajavasis. And of course, the devotees of Vraj, they feel great ecstasy when they see Krishna in front of him and they enjoy these spontaneous pastimes that are not found anywhere else. But nonetheless, the topmost special pure love is born actually only when there is separation from him, not when there is enjoyment in union with him. So this viraha, it arises from within. And this viraha is actually greater than any other feeling that the gopis feel. So these Vrajavasis, they are the greatest recipients of this greatest mercy, Param Mahatva, it is called, and that is the Viraha Bhav. This Viraha, it bestows the highest happiness that goes to a very great extreme. Now, although everybody in this world, we are all in separation from Krishna, right? All of us are in separation from Krishna. But we don't experience Viraha Bhav. Only the Vrajavasi is there. We don't experience this kind of Viraha Bhav in this state and in this condition of our separation, because we are so entangled by this, the allurement of this material world. So we cannot strictly say that today I am in Viraha. No, that doesn't happen. It takes a long way. But these Vrajavasis, they experience constant Viraha. So we just experience some kind of separation, but the kind of ecstasy that these Vrajavasis are and the great advanced devotees are experiencing, that is given by Krishna. It is Krishna's special mercy on them. So Krishna feels very, very grateful. He feels very grateful for the love of the gopis and other residents. And therefore, he feels that if he goes, he cannot bear to see this Viraha Bhav that they exhibit, if he goes back and stirs it up even more. So therefore he says he will not even return to Vrindavan to pay a short visit. Sometimes these Vrajavasis, they appear to be torn as though they are dead. Sometimes they are like totally insane, but these are actually signs of devotional ecstasy. So sometimes these gopis, when they see a patch of darkness, they are reminded of Krishna and they go and they try to embrace the shadow and they constantly go on kissing it, mistaking it for Krishna. So Krishna says that not many people will really understand these feelings of the gopis of Vrindavan. And when people see the way these gopis are behaving, they will be plunged into an ocean of distress hearing these accounts. So this circumstance is so difficult to deal with. Krishna feels he cannot really do much, and all that he feels is that he just feels indebted. He just feels that he can never absolve the debt that he has for the gopis of Vrindavan. Whether Krishna shows himself to his devotees or he remains unseen to them, anyhow they are going to be torn apart by these ecstasies of separation. There is another unseen reality that is not seen by ordinary eyes, and that is the Aprakata Leela that we already discussed in our previous session. So, Krishna, he's actually in Vrindavan all the time. I mean, Krishna doesn't have to go to Vrindavan, he's already there in Vrindavan and he's always performing his Aprakata pastimes there. This Aprakata Leela, he's endlessly continuing to bestow enjoyment of his pastimes. So Krishna always stays in Vrindavan. Although they suffer in separation from his Prakata Leela, Prakata form, they enjoy forever in the Aprakata form, right? The Brajavasis. So Krishna is always there in Vrindavan and he factually never leaves Vrindavan. Even in Srimad Bhagavatam, we see some hints of this Aprakata Leela. We see in many places that Krishna is being referred as still performing many pastimes in Vrindavan. So Sanatan Goswami, he quotes one verse. He says in Bhagavatam 10:44-13, there's a statement that says, "How pious are the tracks of the land of Raja, for there the primeval personality of Godhead, disguising himself with human traits, wanders about, enacting his many pastimes, adorned with beautifully variegated forest garlands. He whose feet are worshipped by Lord Shiva and goddess Rama vibrates his flute as he tends the cows in the company of Balaram." So you see, this verse is in present tense. That means it is still happening. But actually, when this verse was spoken by the people of Mathura, Krishna had already left Vrindavan. But the verse is spoken in such a way that Krishna is continuing his pastimes. They are so fortunate. Krishna is still there. He's enjoying pastimes with them. So we see some hints in Bhagavatam also here and there that the Aprakata Leela is still happening in Vrindavan and it continues to happen even to this day. So Krishna is there because the Vrajavasis are seeing the Aprakata Leela. Okay? So in last week's session, we also saw about how Krishna, when he killed Dantavakra, he visited Vrindavan, and we saw how these three forms of Krishna we discussed, right? The Aprakata form stays back, and then there is one portion that goes to Goloka, and there is other portion that goes to Dwaraka. So we read that entire purport and we discussed that in detail. Not only that, in the Padma Purana, also in the Uttarakanda, Lord Shiva tells his wife Parvati an even more explicit account of Krishna's returning to Vrindavan and staying there permanently. So you will see such accounts in some other scriptures like Padma Purana and others. So such conclusions are also derived that Krishna goes permanently. But we understand that Krishna is continuing his Aprakata Leela in that sense, that he's still remaining in Vrindavan. Also, in the second book of the same Brhad Bhagavatamrta, when we discuss the glories of Goloka Vrindavan, this conclusion will be demonstrated that Krishna always stays in Gokul Vrindavan because he's eternally performing his pastimes in the Aprakata form. Krishna continues to perform his pastimes, and the Vrajavasis are continuously seeing Krishna's pastimes. Now, after we all hear this accounts, great accounts of Krishna's love for the Vrajavasis, how much he is actually suffering in separation from the Vrajavasis, and when we hear this intense love of Viraha that is exhibited by the Vrajavasis for Krishna, and there is so much going on between Krishna and the Vrajavasis, one may ask a valid question: why did Krishna have to marry so many princesses after coming back to Mathura and going to Dwarka? This is a valid question. Why would Krishna have to leave them, right? If he loves the gopis so much, if he was so much in love with the gopis, so much viraha is exchanged between Krishna and the Vrajavasis, or specifically the young gopis, then why should he marry so many princesses? So for that, Krishna continued to explain to Satyabhama. He told, "My dear Satyabhama, Manini, when living in Mathura without the gopis, actually, I had no intention to marry. But from the mouth of a Brahmin, I heard about Rukmini's letter. In that letter, Rukmini told her distress and her intention of committing suicide if she cannot obtain me." Okay, let's read those beautiful verses of Rukmini Sandesh. We'll read only two verses. So here are the verses. Yasyangri pankaja rajasnapanam mahanto वाञ्छन्ति उमापतिरिवात्मतमोपहत्यै यर्हि अम्बुजाक्षनलभीय भवत्प्रसादम् जह्यामसून्व्रतकृशन् षट्जन्मभिः स्यात्. O lotus-eyed one, great souls like Lord Shiva hanker to bathe in the dust of your lotus feet and thereby destroy their ignorance. If I cannot obtain your mercy, I shall simply give up my vital force, which will have become weak from the severe penances I will perform. Then, after hundreds of lifetimes of endeavor, I may obtain your mercy. This was Rukmini's message to Krishna. And of course, the very first verse of her letter is very famous. Shri Rukmini Uvacha, Shrutva Gunan Bhuvana Sundara Shanvatam Te Nirvishya Karna Vivirair Haratungatapam Rupam Drisham Drishimatamakilarthalabham Tvayachyuta Vishati Chittam Apatrapam Me. Sri Rukmini said in her letter, as read by the Brahmana, O beauty of the worlds, having heard your qualities which enter the ears of those who hear and remove their bodily distress, and having also heard of your beauty which fulfills all the visual desires of those who see, I have fixed my shameless mind upon you, O Krishna. So Rukmini, when Krishna was explaining about this letter to Satyabhama, Rukmini was standing right there, and she indeed could verify the truth in the matter. So Rukmini actually told Krishna that if you don't come and marry me, I will not live. And she was the one who gave him this plan of kidnapping her and performing Rakshasa Vivaha, that is kidnapping the bride and going and taking her away. So Krishna said, that's the reason I had to do it. I kidnapped her and I married her. And he said, actually, even after this marriage, while living in Dwaraka, I tried to forget the gopis. I tried my best. But the sight of Rukmini's beauty, it actually only reminded me of the loving gopis back in Vrindavan. And the fire of viraha in my heart was rekindled for them. So, out of the many gopis of Vraj, about 16,100 gopis in Vraja, they actually attained Krishna's intimate association. And there is a verse in the Bhagavatam about how they perform the Katyayani Vrata to obtain Krishna. So they all obtained, those 16,100 gopis, they all obtained Krishna's intimate favor. Similarly, Krishna also had 16,100 queens who were rescued from Narakasura, and they constantly reminded him of those 16,100 gopis. And the principal queens, in fact, are the expansions of the chief gopis. So Krishna told Satyabhama that whatever pastimes he performed in Vraja actually gave him the highest pleasure, and he doesn't feel the same exact happiness without the gopis. He said, I was simply submerged in an ocean of ecstasy. I was so happy. I was so attracted to all the residents of Vraj that I just didn't notice time passing by. I enjoyed playing in Vrindavan, killing demons, just like, child sport. And those demons actually, they were powerful mystics, not like these kings, like Shalva and Poundraka and others. They are all, after all, just strong kings. But those demons in Vrindavan, they were powerful mystics. They, like for example, Putana, she could change forms, and so many other demons, they could all change forms and they could create so much havoc. But it was fun for me. It was total fun for me. I enjoyed killing these demons like, playing with dolls. It was not a big effort for me. By bringing Kalia under control and dancing on his hoods, lifting Govardhan with my little finger, everything was fun for me. It was not a laborious task, it was outright fun. In fact, what was disturbing to me was having to talk with Brahma during the Brahma Vimohan Leela and accepting his prayers and his praise and his homage, accepting apologies from Indra. All these things were actually a disturbance to me. They didn't let me play. They were coming and telling me, oh, you are the Supreme Lord, and they were disturbing all my pastimes. That was actually a burden. I was so happy and I was so content, just playing and enjoying in Vrindavan. I didn't even want to think about the promises that I had made to the demigods that I will destroy Kamsa and reduce the burden on earth. I just didn't want to think about the promises that I made. And then seeing these demigods, all that was a disturbance. I was so happy. I was enjoying the fun that I had in Vrindavan. Krishna's form, his beauty, his dress, the sound of his flute, all this actually enhanced uh, the love, or rather enchanted the entire universe and flooded everybody in love of God. What to speak of the gopis of Vrindavan? The only hope for all of us is to follow in the footsteps of these residents of Vrindavan. Everything and everyone in Vrindavan were actually affected by Krishna. The spontaneous attraction between Krishna and his devotees is actually the sweetest, and it is seen only in Vrindavan. Only in Vrindavan, Krishna feels free to add his peacock feather on his crown, and he feels free to play the flute in Vrindavan. In fact, the demigods who were moving up in the sky, to the animals in Vrindavan, like the cows and the deer and the monkeys, to the plants and to the grass in Vrindavan, everybody was simply affected by Krishna's beauty and Krishna's presence, that they were all ecstatically transformed and they underwent symptoms of prema bhakti. So the cows and other animals who would roam around, they stood like statues and they looked stunned. The grass that is generally immobile was trembling in ecstasy. Sometimes the river Yamuna, she would stand still. Sometimes she would flow so wildly in these ecstatic symptoms. We were just recently in our previous class in Chaitanya Charitamrita, we were discussing symptoms of Prema Bhakti by Kirtida Mataji. So we see that in Vrindavan, all this was something so natural. Everybody, right from the demigods in the sky who are passing by to the smallest blade of grass, all of them were exhibiting these symptoms of ecstasy. In fact, clouds, they are constantly moving by the wind. But even these clouds, they were standing like umbrellas trying to give shade to Krishna and his devotees who are performing pastimes. So everybody was stunned. Everybody was completely absorbed in the pastimes of Krishna. And the sweetness of Krishna is actually seen only in Vrindavan. So Krishna said, those times and pastimes in Vrindavan are so special. They are so special and they are so close to my heart. And I'm missing everything. If you want, you can ask Kalindi. Kalindi is one of the wives. She was standing there. And she, as River Yamuna, she has witnessed everything. She knows about all this. And of course, Kalindi is Yamuna. Yamuna means she is the sister of Yamaraj, right? So Yamaraj is known for religious principles. He is Dharma Raja, in the sense that he knows all the perfect religious principles and he sticks to it. So obviously, his sister Yamuna wouldn't be speaking any false. She will always speak the truth. So he told Satyabhama, if you want to ask Kalindi about these pastimes, about the sweetness and the great emotions hidden in Vrindavan. Actually, Krishna said, yeah, I enjoy some talks and I joke with with my wives here and with so many other associates in Dwaraka. But the intimate dealings with the Vrajavasis is totally different. It is on a totally different level. He said, I've even put down my flute. I don't play my flute here. I'm simply not inspired. I just feel that if I sit and play my flute here in Dwaraka, people will make fun of me. I'm supposed to be a prince with all this opulence, and how would it be if I'm playing the flute? I'm just going to, be made fun of. But in Vrindavan, everything was so natural. I could do so many things. This environment is not so conducive. I cannot perform the same pastimes that I performed in Vrindavan, here in Dwaraka, because the mood is so foreign to this intimate mood. That's why we see when Krishna met the gopis in Kurukshetra, this is something that we can all be reminded of. When Krishna met the gopis in Kurukshetra during the eclipse, that time the gopis, they were not feeling the same bliss that they would feel in Vrindavan. And they wanted to take Krishna with them to Vrindavan to enjoy sweet pastimes. right? There is again we read this pastime that the gopis, they wanted to pull Krishna back to Vrindavan, and that's why we celebrate the Rath Yatra. We are trying to help the gopis in pulling Krishna back to Vrindavan. So not only Krishna, even the gopis, for them also Dwaraka is a very foreign mood. The same pastimes that can be enjoyed in Vrindavan cannot be enjoyed in the same way, in the same mood in Dwaraka. So this is what Krishna was explaining to the gopis. Krishna said, no one can really describe the pastimes of Vraj in detail. Even I am not able to express it properly. But there is one person who can do it. And he is very, very dear to me, just like how the devotees of Raja are dear to me. And who's that one person? It is Shukadev. Shukadev Goswami, who's the son of Badarayana Vyasadeva, he will be writing the Srimad Bhagavatam, and by his power and his love for the mood of the Vrajavasis, he will speak something about the matters to an extent that people can understand a drop of the ocean of the sweetness of the mood of Vrindavan. So he said he will speak all these pastimes to his disciple Parikshit, whom I once brought to life. And Krishna predicted this. Krishna predicted this, that Srimad Bhagavatam will be spoken by Shukadev Goswami, and Shukadev Goswami will try to describe a little bit about the Vrindavan pastimes, a drop in the ocean of the loving exchange and great bliss that was seen in the heart of the devotees. So, like that, Krishna was speaking to Satyabhama. So, as Krishna was talking like this, and he was going on and on and on, his mind immersed in the sweetness of Raj, he became so engrossed that Uddhava, he got very, very anxious. He felt that the Lord may again fall into a trance, because again he started talking about the Vrindavan pastimes, and the Lord will lose his control. And again, they had to, if this goes on like this, again the whole Navavrindavan pastime has to be executed again. So Uddhava, he got a little scared and he got a little anxious, and he started to indicate with some action. He told the queens to calm him down, to calm down Krishna. So immediately Rukmini, Satyabhama, and everyone who went close to Krishna, and they fell down at his feet, and they began offering prayers to Krishna, and with loving words, with their sweet voices and with sobs, they calmed down Krishna completely. So Uddhava also urged Devaki. She said, Devaki, come quickly with the food and pacify Krishna with a good meal. So Uddhava was a first-class devotee. A first-class devotee, he knows what to do and when to do, how to do, even before the instruction is given to him. So Uddhava, just by seeing how Krishna was talking, he could immediately catch the mind of Krishna, and he instructed, with his signs, he said, he asked the wives to go and pacify Krishna, and he indicated to Devaki to bring the meal fast so that Krishna is diverted. And Balram also, he had stepped out in the pretext of taking a bath because he didn't want to be there in this emotional scene. So he knew very well that he had to give some privacy, and he had stepped out. So Balram was also asked to come back soon, and Balram also took his bath and he came back soon so that everybody together, they could pacify Krishna. All of them were there, but our dear Narada Muni was not there. He was standing at the doorway and he was hesitating to come inside the room. So Krishna, with a smile, he looked at Uddhava and he asked, why is Narada hesitating to come in? Why is he standing there at the doorstep? So actually, Krishna knew exactly why Narada Muni was standing there, but still with a smile, Krishna was asking to Narada, hey Narada, you usually enter our palace very, very freely, but what makes you to stand there today? And then Narada was not answering him, and Uddhava smiled, and Uddhava told him that, my dear Lord, our Narada Muni is very afraid and embarrassed today, so he's not coming in today. Now, Krishna, who is the Lord of the Brahmanas, he himself, he walked to the door and lovingly he embraced Narada, and he brought Narada inside and he told, my dear Narada, you are a great friend of mine, and you're always eager to please me. And please be assured that you have not done any wrong today. You are actually one of the best among the ones who relish the transcendental emotions. Actually, you have done me a great favor. You have done a very, very great favor to me. Narada, you listen carefully. When one is parted from his beloved, from his loved ones, that pure love makes him suffer within like as if it's a blazing forest fire. This burning pain creates a sorrow and further deepens it into an uncontrollable sorrow. So, in this condition, one may be appearing to be totally wretched. The misery of transcendental separation is actually only apparent, it is not real. Outwardly, a person who's experiencing the separation viraha may be showing great pain outwardly, but inside it is actually incomparable bliss. He was explaining to Narada, you are scared that you offended me, and I am now having a blazing forest fire of viraha in my heart. But the truth is that it is only external. So the feelings of separation, the pain that is seen is only external. Inside, it is an ocean of incomparable bliss. And soon, this external pain that is seen actually results in complete bliss, complete bliss. The viraha or anguish of separation, actually, it is praised as being greater than the happiness of enjoying with the loved ones. Viraha is more sweet than sambhoga. Separation is actually very, very pleasing to the mind, and it cannot be described because this separation always transforms into an abundance of pleasure. Abundance of pleasure. Only experts tasting this can understand exactly how it happens. And it is this thing that is born out of pain, the separation, feelings of separation. Initially, there is pain, but that pain very soon grows into an incomparable bliss. It is very, very, very hard to explain the feelings that one gets when he is in Virahabha. See, it's very hard to describe what Brahmananda feeling is. The bliss that one gets when he merges into the Brahma Jyoti. Okay. But it is more difficult to explain uh, the bliss that is seen in prema. That too, it is very, very hard, extremely hard. And to describe the intense bliss that is seen in Virahabhav is very, very hard to put it in words. Only rasikas, only people with spontaneous taste for this viraha understand what it is. But for us, can we understand that? It's hard, right? We really can't understand it in words. So, how do we understand this? What the gopis are undergoing, or what Krishna was just undergoing? How do we understand what viraha is? So, we can understand it with this example. Just like when there is a lot of struggle for a person to achieve his goal, once he achieves his desired goal, the pain that he went through while achieving the goal actually turns into great joy. We can also think of this example of a woman going through labor to give birth to a child. There is so much labor, there is so much pain. But once she sees that beautiful face of the child, she just forgets all pain. Does that pain stay forever? No, there is only extreme bliss, extreme happiness when she's seeing that face of her newborn. So that joy is actually incomparable. For ordinary people, they they feel that joining with Krishna is happiness, but separation from him is not happiness. But actually, the greatest ecstasy that is felt in devotees actually comes only from remembering and serving Krishna in separation. Now, another example. Okay, let's take this example to understand this concept even better. Although the coldness of ice has the property of chillness, right, or coldness. Now, although the coldness of ice is opposite to the heat of fire, when you place ice on your hand for a very, very long time, what happens? Because of the numbness, there is a burning sensation that is caused after a while. After a while, you will feel that it's burning. You're not able to tolerate that ice on your hand. Okay. This actual burning sensation that one is feeling is illusory. It's an illusion that the ice is burning your hand, because ice cannot burn you, right? It is only an illusion. The reality of the numbing cold is real. The actually, why are you feeling that burn? It is because your hands has become numb because of the cold. That is reality. But the sensation of burning is illusory. So similarly, the pain of viraha is a false appearance that disguises the real joy that the residents of Vrindavan are feeling inside. So another example is given, like eating very, very, very hot sugar candy. Now, outside, the temperature of this condensed sugar syrup is so hot, it's burning your tongue. And yet, it is so sweet that you just cannot stop relishing it. You want to eat it. You just want to eat it. You just want to eat it because it is so incomparably sweet. So, that is the feeling of viraha that is experienced by the young gopis. They experienced actually the best of the ecstasies, and therefore they are concluded to be the best of the devotees of the Lord, and they are indeed the greatest recipients of the love and mercy of Krishna. Nobody else experiences that kind of intense pleasure. It is only these young gopis in Vrindavan who are actually experiencing that kind of pleasure, which is so hard to describe. Then Krishna said, Viraha is very sweet. One may feel the separation again and again, and in fact, he will feel distressed if he is not able to feel that sweetness again. So, Narada, you gave me this experience. A person who's reminded who's reminded of his beloved, um, feels. I mean, when we get reminded of our beloved, we feel very good. Okay, but you are a very helpful friend, Narada, because you have helped me remember the beloved, my beloved, gopis of Vrindavan. You made me remember my loved ones, and you have given me back my life. And when I'm reminded of my loved ones, I feel that I'm very blessed. I feel great fortune. So Krishna said, sometimes I myself think of the Vrajavasis and remember the past times that has happened. But when I'm reminded of those devotees by sweet words of devotees like you, Narada Muni, I feel that the sweetness is intensifying, and I feel that there is one fortunate event happening after one after the other. You know, I feel there is an ocean of fortunate events when I am reminded of the gopis by your mouth. So, me remembering the gopis is one thing. But when I'm forced to remember, or when I'm induced to remember the gopis because of your words, that has made this entire experience sweeter. So he said, Narada, today you have favored me very greatly. You've done a very, very good favor for me because you made me remember the gopis so nicely, and you made me feel that intense separation for them. So he said, Narada, I'm so happy with you. So please take a benediction. Please choose any boon from me. I just want to give you a benediction today. So we'll stop here and we'll see what benedictions Narada Muni asked for. And we will be seeing the realizations of Narada Muni from meeting all the Lord's devotees, starting from the Prayag Brahmin to the Gopis of Vrindavan, and the supreme position of the Gopis of Vrindavan, concluding that they are indeed the recipients of the Lord's greatest mercies in our mercy in our next session. And I think it'll be rather a shorter session. We'll try to wrap up the storytelling in about half an hour, and then we'll have realizations from all of you for book one of Sri Brhad Bhagavatamrta. So that'll be our next session. And with that, I think we will conclude our book one. So thank you so much for your patient listening. And if you have any questions, I don't know if I'll be able to answer because, as we all know, this topic is very, very hard to explain. But if you have any realizations, or if you want to add, or if you want to correct anything, please go ahead. Hare Krishna. Let me put everyone on speakers. Questions are heard. Yes, you can start.
Hare Krishna, Preeti Dandavat. What a beautiful, 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 amazing class. Awesome. It was really wonderful. The way you explained, the way you took us, onto this journey, especially in the book one of Bhagavatamrta. It's so wonderful. And I especially like the point. Today, actually, the book is not in front of me, so I don't know whether it's mentioned in the book or not because I'm getting this opportunity to read with you. Otherwise, I don't even open read Bhagavatamrta. But it's so wonderfully you have explained the meaning of Viraha. You know, again, it's such a deep subject matter. But getting this mundane example, from our day-to-day life and getting just the glimpse of what that rasa or that bhava is, as you gave example of the sugar candy and ice pack on our hands, it's awesome and it is awesome. And the whole class was so well presented. So, all well to you, Mataji. And thank you so much for taking us to start of such a high subject matter and explaining it in such a simple way so that we all can relish. Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Making me study properly and then helping me with everything throughout the journey of Brhad Bhagavatamrita. And also all the examples actually are from Sanatan Goswami's commentaries only, except for that the sugar candy I think is there from Chaitanya Charitamrita. So other than that, it's all from the book. I don't have any realizations in the sense of giving examples by myself. So I just used all the examples from the commentaries, Mataji. Thank you so much for your kind words. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you so much for the beautiful class. Really nice class, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Vinaya Mataji. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Is there anybody having any questions or comments for Mataji? Hare Krishna, dear Priti Vilasini Gopi, Shri Radha Gopinath ki Jai, Shri Prabhupada Gurudev. We are not qualified to enter in Shita Vrindavan Dham, Sarkati Dham, but you will explain very nicely. Narada is really practiced that Mataji, how nicely you narrate the Leelas that we enter in the Leelas and we feel the pain of, we are not qualified, but still we understand that from what situation passing all the gopis and Shri Radha Gopinath, Lord Krishna, Srimati Radharani, and especially Rukmani Maharani and Satya Baba. Mataji, there is no words to your story. It's really wonderful, wonderful, amazing Leela Mataji. Shri Ram Vrindavan Dham ki jai, Shri Prabhupada Shri Gurudev ki jai, Prithvi Vilasini Gopi ki jai. Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna, Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna Vranda Gopika Mataji, all glories to your immersion, your listening. That is what matters ultimately. And of course, all glories to Sanatan Goswami, Srila Prabhupada for giving us these books. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. Thank you for everything. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Priti Vilasini Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you very much for such wonderful class with vivid description about all the details. Just had one question about when you were mentioning about why did Krishna have to leave the gopis if they are so much dear to him? Why did he even have to come to Dwarka and then marry all these queens? I just didn't follow that part a little bit. If you can explain, is it because just to illustrate how Viraha is going to intensify their love? Is that the reason? Mataji, can you please explain that part?
Very nice. Thank you, Sarojanandani Mataji. Very, very nice. Yes, that is one aspect. How Viraha is actually, see, the gopis are born to enjoy, relish Viraha. That's their intrinsic mood, and that is exhibited. Yes, that is the chief point. On the other level, yes, Krishna also had to go ahead and he had to go to Mathura and Dwaraka and fulfill the promise that he made to the demigods and continue his pastimes outside Vrindavan. So therefore, he had to go and deal with the kings, and he had to help Yudhishthir, and there were other responsibilities that he had taken up. So he had to move on. So that is one. The most important aspect is what you covered, which is yes, to show the importance of viraha and let the gopis experience viraha, and he himself, kind of enjoy in separation from the gopis. And the other aspect is that he had to move on to continue his leelas.
Thank you, Mataji. An interesting thing to note always is whenever Krishna appears is he has an internal reason and external reason and everything. Just as for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also, he had his own internal reasons and external reasons for appearing as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So interesting point. Always Krishna brings in some secrets with him.
Yeah, very nice. Very, very nice. Yeah, it's very similar to the internal and external reasons of Mahaprabhu. Very beautiful, Mataji. Thank you. Lovely.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna.
And again, I want to have somebody and everybody else was saying wonderful, wonderful storytelling, wonderful pastime. A couple of thoughts that were coming to my mind was when you were explaining how Krishna was saying that he was having fun with the Rajavasis, killing all the demons, but taking care. No, I'm sorry. It was that he was playing his flute, and I can't even think. But just his pleasure was in not doing certain duties, but actually just enjoying himself. I just thought that was just very sweet. I can't seem to explain what I'm trying to say in my head. It's in there, but it's not coming out properly.
No, I get it. Yeah. Yeah, that's so true. Yeah.
And the other thing I was thinking was, I just realized, or maybe I just suddenly made a connect. I don't know, but when Srila Prabhupada is always talking about Lord Chaitanya and the ecstasy of service and separation. I kind of made that connect to how the gopis were feeling. That I never made that connection. It always seemed like, how could you have that ecstasy and separation? In separation, I didn't understand it, but now I kind of have a little bit of an understanding, very, very, very minute, but a little bit of understanding by when you're explaining about the relationship of Krishna with the gopis and how they were feeling when he was, there and not there. So I don't know if that makes sense, but that's just a thought that came to my mind. But thank you again. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Maneshwari Mataji. Thanks actually to the commentaries. Thank you. Thank you.
Is there anybody having any questions or any realizations? Hare Krishna, Priti Mataji. Please accept the Dandavasana. The class is very nice, Mataji, and I like the past way to explain the gopis viraha bhava. It was very, very wonderful. It is like what we can say. The pastimes are moving in front of our eyes. That's the feeling I got, Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji. And the class is from starting to end, it is really super, Mataji. Thank you for all your efforts by giving us this nectar, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Supriya Mataji, for constantly being there with us in this journey. Thank you so much.
Supriya Mataji, their sadhana is so strong. That Sri Mataji, all teachers, so that we feel we are not qualified, but we feel Srila Mataji because their sadhana is so strong. Srila Prabhupada said, pranam to all Rishi and Krishna.
All the devotees sadhana here in Bhakti Sanghas is very, very strong, Mataji. Including yourself. So Vrinda Gopika Mataji, Why don't you give us some nice nectar by singing something? You always ask everyone to sing. Why don't you sing today?
So true, Mataji.
Sing, na?
Yes, Mataji.
Something.
By Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev Mercy. I could. Radhe me Swami. Radhe Govinda. Me Radhe Govinda. जन्म जन्म से श्री वृंदावन श्री वृंदावन राधे तो बड़ी बागी कोनो तपस्या तीनों लोक के नाथ है राधे से आदि तीनों लोक के नाथ है राधे से आदि राधे में दीपानी राधे मैं राधे को मैं राधे को दंडवत प्रणाम माता जी.
Hari bol, Hari bol. So beautiful.
Beautiful, Mata ji. Thank you so much. You Mata ji, learn from Lal Govindan Prabhu. My ma is here, so she's hearing Krishna Katha whole day. So Lal Govindan Prabhu is going Maharaj Safal, and every day starting Krishna Katha, before starting Krishna Katha, he starts his prayer.
Oh, beautiful. Very nice, Mataji. Thanks so sweetly. Thank you.
Mataji, can you sing the line of the Gopika Mataji? Thank you, Kritira Shukri Mataji. Pretty, can you sing? You sing two stanzas of Rukmani Devi and Satyabhama is singing. Can you please sing that again?
I was not singing. I was just reciting. I'm not good in singing.
That was very touch to heart. Please sing, Mataji.
Okay, but we have other singers on the call. Like we have Suksagri Mataji. We also have Sarojanandani Mataji. They are all professional teachers. So we should get them to sing actually.
Sarojani Mataji, can you please sing?
Sarojanandani Mataji. Where did she go?
Hare Krishna Mataji. What was that? Can you please repeat again?
Well, she's asking us you to sing something. I'm also asking. Mataji?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, maybe this, something related to Vrindavan or the Rukmini Sandesh or anything. Yeah.
Okay. So, I can just sing Vrindavana Ramyastana. One second. Okay, I think just wait 1 second, Mataji. Okay, I'm going to sing Hari Hari Bifale Janama, Gunaino, by Narottam Das. Hari Hari Bifale Janama Gunaino, Hari Hari Bifale Janama Gunaino. मनुष्य जन्म पाया राधा कृष्ण भाग्य मनुष्य जन्म पाया राधा कृष्ण भाग्य जानिया सुनिया विषा खाइनो जानिया सुनिया विषा खाइनो हरि हरि विफले जन्म गुणाइनो गोलोकेरा प्रेम धना हरिनाम संकीर्तन गोलोकेरा प्रेम धना हरिनाम संकीर्तन रतिना जन्मिलो केलेता रतिना जन्मिलो केलेता संसारा विषनाले जीवनी सिहिया जले संसारा विषनाले जीवनी सिहिया ज्वले जुराइते ना कोइनो उपाय जुराइते ना कोइनो उपाय हरि हरि विफले जन्म गुणाइनो ब्रजेंद्र नंदन जय सखी सुत होलो से ब्रजेंद्र नंदन जय सखी सुत होलो से बलराम होइलो निताय बलराम होइलो निताय दीनहीना जता किलो हरिनामे उधारिलो दीनहीना जता किलो हरिनामे उधारिलो तारा साक्षी जगय माता तारा साक्षी जगय माता हरि हरि विफले जन्म गुणाइनो हा हा प्रभु नंद सुता वृषभानु सुता जुता हा हा प्रभु नंद सुता वृषभानु सुता जुता करुणा करो हे बार करुणा करो हे बार नरोत्तम दस कय नाथेली हो रंग पाए नरोत्तम दस कय नाथेली हो रंग पाए तुमा बिने के आचे अमर तुमा बिने के आचे अमर हरि हरि विफले जन्म गुणाइनो विफले जन्म गुणाइनो विफले जन्म गुणाइनो Thank you, Mataji.
Wow, that's so beautiful. Hari bol, Hari bol. So beautiful.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you for making me sing this after a long time. It's very dear to my heart, this song. So,
Hari bol. Even the Bengali pronunciation was so beautiful, Mataji. So beautiful. So beautiful. Yeah, we also have Anjana Gopika Mataji. We have Suksagri Mataji, all great singers on the call. Wow, I think everybody, yeah. Anyone else wants to? Yeah, Vrinda is asking for next song, it seems. So anyone else wants to sing, or we'll do it next? Yeah.
Nandani Mataji,
So beautiful, so beautiful.
Oh my God, you really made our day, Mataji. so sweet voice and all the pronunciation. So nice. Thank you for singing, Mataji. Thank you for the encouragement, Mataji. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Thank you, Sarojini Mataji. Dandavat Pranam for your sister. Vanjana Kupi, can you please? Sarojana. Mataji, I think Suksagari Mataji wanted to sing. My voice is not very good, but I like Vaishnava song.
No, Mataji, your voice was also so beautiful. You are our teacher. You are our Madhava class teacher, Mataji. Your voice was so beautiful.
The Utkrist Prabhu is absent and taking the class. Nobody's there. If Saradanandani Mataji, somebody come, I will be very happy, Utkrist Prabhu is absent. I'm taking because nobody's there.
No.
Yeah. Suksagari Mataji wanted to sing. I think Mataji Sanskrit verse. Mataji sing very nicely. Can you hear from Mataji?
Suksagari Mataji?
Hi.
Hare Krishna.
I'm so sorry. I was on mute and I was hoping some others will sing nicely. But I really thank you so much, Sarojini and Nandini Mataji. It was so nectarian. Your especially I like that it was Kalyani based and it was amazing. Like it was a very different tune. I've never heard that earlier. So I would appreciate if she can sing more. That's what I personally feel. But I don't want to say no when Vaishnavas ask. So I just put encouragement, Mataji, but I would also like to hear from other devotees. Maybe you can sing. Please go ahead. Yeah, Preeti, is okay if I sing Vishyate?
Yes.
I'll just sing one sloka, this invocation, and then others can sing.
This is the song that she's going to sing is from Mukunda Mala Stotra by King Kulashekara. Yeah.
Gushyate nagare Sangayatra dine amaham tirasha vande rajanam kulashekharam. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Hari Bol. Wonderful, Mataji. Just the tribute made so much of effect. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Now, Anjana Gopika. You can't escape.
No, Mataji. Mataji, Suksagari Mataji, can you say the translation of this verse, Mataji? If you have there. For this verse, it's actually the invocation sloka. I'll just have to, look it up. I don't know, like off my head. Off my head right now. So, is it okay if I just look it up? Meanwhile, you can sing, Mataji. Yes, Mataji. Very great singer, Mataji. You wanted to be sing. I try to sing in very simple. I just forgot the best of dance. Mataji, I just like to sing one song, Evaru Vaishnava. My voice is, tune is not also like that, but Mataji asked me, I will sing Mataji.
करो करुणा करो वैष्णव संग एवरो करुणा करो वैष्णव गोसाई एवरो करुणा करो वैष्णव गोसाई पतित पावन तुम्हारा बिने के होना ये बरो करुणा करो वैष्णव गोसाई पतित पावन तुम्हारा बिने के होना यहाँ निकते पापा दूर जाए यहाँ निकते पापा दूर जाए यमुना दयाला प्रभु केवा कोथा पाए यमुना दयाला प्रभु केवा कोथा पाए गौरांगे पाचारा हुए पाचाते भगवान गौरांग पाचारा हुए पाचाते भगवान दर्शने करो ये तुम्हारा
Beautiful, Mataji. So beautiful.
You transported us to Mayapur, Mataji. So beautiful. I just found the translation online and it goes like this. I, Raja Kulashekara, bow my head to Lord Ranganatha of Sri Rangam. Salutations to Lord Ranganatha is heard every day in all the nook and corners of the town of Sri Rangam. That's what it kind of means. Thank you, Mataji. That's for now. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. All the Mataji, Sarojanandri Mataji, Yandana Gopika Mataji, Kutapadani Mataji, one by one after the other. All such a beautiful song you all sang. Mataji, you want to sing Mataji, please? So today, Preeti Vilasani Mataji finished this thing that how the gopis are the real recipients of Krishna's mercy. And, today we are cultivating our class, and this by singing all the Vaishnava Bhajans. So I was thinking that the essence of all the devotional service, all the philosophy, we hear is the same and to dance for Krishna. So it's a wonderful coincidence that happened. Anyway, it was well planned by Krishna,
definitely.
So, really, thank you all so much. Thank you so much. It was so wonderful.
So well said, as usual. Kirtida Sundari Mataji. Very, very well said. Thank you. And of course, I know there are other singers as well. So if anyone, I'm so sorry if I didn't pick, I'm sorry for specifically picking names, but anyone else on the call, I'm sure many of you sing very nicely.
Preeti, you should sing here. I know you sing here.
No, Mataji, I'm not. I can only recite. I don't have proper training and all that. I can just probably recite a few verses after practice. That's all.
Mataji, bhav is important. The training and lay and rhythm is not important. Can you please sing today's Leela's 2 stanzas?
The 2 stanzas I will say. That is not difficult. I can do that. Yeah, with your blessings, Vrunda Gopika Mataji, if you want, I can say those 2 stanzas. And before I go ahead, is there anyone else? I'll just read the names who are there. Rita Mataji is there. Indu is there. Kirtida Sundari Mataji is there. Vinaya Mataji. Kirtira? Yeah. Rick.
Yeah. Everybody is asking me to sing, but for that I just want to ask one question. Anybody want like to have stand in key? No, right?
Oh, come on, Mataji. Come on.
It is so delicious, so tasty. Let it honor it, the way it is. But it is actually, you can go ahead now. We don't mind Raj ka Raj Mataji. We really don't mind. We love. Yeah.
She has a good point.
They are all philosophies. All philosophers are there. Really, I'm seriously telling, I'm a very bad singer. It's from the bottom of my heart. I can discuss philosophy that I cannot say. Trust me. So, really.
Rita Mataji, she's so silent today. She usually speaks. Supriya is there. Rita is there. Then Indu Mataji is there. Vinaya Mataji. Vinaya Mataji is also there. I think that's it, right? Yeah, the rest of them.
Mataji, I know Brinda can sing.
Oh yeah, Brinda can.
Brinda can sing.
Yeah.
I know. I think. Brinda, do you want to sing? Yeah, you can sing. It has been long time she did not sing that one. Thank you, Linda. I know you know the song. Very nice, Linda. Thank you. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Linda.
Thank you, Vrinda. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Vrinda's singing has inspired Raghav, so can he also sing one song?
Of course.
Okay. Please bear with his pronunciation, just 2 years old. You must sing Radha Mata. Thank you, Anjali.
So sweet. Thank you.
Mataji, Vrinda wants to sing one more song, Mataji.
Okay, go.
Stay with us. Radhe Jai. Madhavadai Gokula Taruni Vandaramaite Karati Maite Lalita Saharini Avinda Lalita Saki Sakulara Radhe Radhe Radhuna Korune Sanatana Vani Tajari Radhe Radhe ఒకసారి ప్రార్థన రాజే రే మాధవదైతే గోకుల తారుణి మందమైతే థ్యాంక్ యూ మాతాజీ
Thank you,
Thank you, Vrinda. That was
Janvi is also there, Mataji?
Mataji, Janvi knows that.
Yeah.
Nandana Prachalayana Kara Gokula Randana Kana Gopi Payanadana Madana Manohara Kalanti Kalayadam Amatahina Yaviya Viyasa Nitya Purandai Yavina Nagana Purad Prajadana Pavana Asupurana Sana Nandara Kapuvasa Govindana Madhava Nita Dvaspaya Sundara Nanda Gopala Namuna Tatatara Gopi Harana Vasanahara Gopara Rasara Sikara Nirada Ballava Nirada Natavara Bhakati Pasnyo Shreya.
Thank you, Mataji. All kids flying like
Haribol.
Thank you.
Awesome. Oh, Praneshwari Ma.
Thank you, beta.
Praneshwari Mataji is also on the call, right? Are you there? Are you able to speak on the call, or you are only on YouTube? Okay. Maybe we'll have to do it next class then, if she's not on the call. Okay.
Hare Krishna, Priti Vilasri Mataji.
Indu. Haribol.
How glorious to see the Prabhupada. Thank you so much. Mind-blowing class. Oh my God. And it's like a full satsang. I just couldn't speak after each one of his times. So sorry, but it was so beautiful to hear all of your such sweet voices, and with the classic finish, with all that little children's voice. So sweet, so sweet. Thank you so much, Mataji. I had very silly questions to ask, but then when the songs came in, I realized that we can definitely find a connection. If we don't find it through chanting, we can find it through the Vaishnava song.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
Wow.
Hare Krishna.
Nice realization. So what was your question?
Okay, so two questions were there. One was, how could Krishna talk to his wives like so much about the gopis? I mean, he was like saying that I have no interest in what I'm doing here. I really, what I did in Vrindavan was what pleased me the most. Everyone is trying to please Krishna, but now here Krishna is saying that what was in Vrindavan pleased me the most. That was one. And my second question was, how are they able to feel so much separation? I have no feelings of separation, no feelings at all. I have only even for my closest near and dear. The most I
I can feel for is for my own children, for my own son. And it's always mostly about myself. So how can we change this how can I change my selfish mentality to become more selfless and feel that kind of, not even like the gopis of Vrindavan, but just feel the things that you for someone else. Haribol. So I hope I made myself clear.
Yeah, you made yourself clear, and it's a very valid question. Yeah, you also gave the answer. We just continue our sadhana. We just keep chanting someday by the mercy of Guru, Gauranga, by the mercy of advanced devotees.
Mataji, please have this as a standard practice if someone could sing at the end of your class. It's so beautiful, so amazing.
What, Mataji? Sorry, I didn't hear you. What was that?
I was just saying that if you can have this as a standard practice of finishing up your class with beautiful Kirtan, then it would have been so wonderful.
Yeah, sure. We'll continue this way. We'll finish it with Kirtan. We'll have all the devotees sing at the end. Yeah, all the devotees on the call sing at the end. That's a very nice thing. Yes, Indu Mataji. Good idea. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so
yeah. Just so you know, I want to take all of your leave.
Okay.
Because I have a lot of work today. So I'll be leaving, but have one request before I leave. Like, I don't know how many of you all are coming to Sadhu Sangha. So if you all are, then just make it a point that you meet each other. And please ask me if you can put it on Bhakti Sangha group also.
Yeah.
Those who are coming to Sadhu Sangha retreat can please meet each other because we have only heard the name. And for some devotees, and we have not personally met, so we can meet each other and have a nice connection.
Yes, Mataji, and if you can also decide on a time among the 3 days, the time and the place where you would meet near the fountain or whatever. So if that is also probably you can text me and we can put it up on the group. And please take pictures. I'm not there, but please take pictures. And we really want to see a face for each voice that we hear on the call. So please, whoever is going, please make sure that there's a small meeting. Yeah, and also the kids along with the adults, everybody. Yeah. So Kirtida Mataji, please send me a time and a specific day so that I'll put it on the group.
I think that we can do it on Sunday, not Saturday, but Sunday, after lunch, 3 to 4, we can meet near the fountain. 4 o'clock we can put so that if somebody wants to take rest, they can come back. And Sunday 4 o'clock, we can click a photo of you to each other.
Okay, Sunday 4 o'clock near the fountain, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Mataji.
Because there, WhatsApp and this messaging doesn't work.
Yeah.
And mostly, especially myself, I don't want to tell about others, but I don't even take my phone. So my phone is there, but it doesn't work, so I don't even take to the hall. It's normally my phone.
Okay, Mataji. Sure. Yeah, we'll put that up. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Okay. So the rest of them, who's Supriya, Rita Mataji, Indu Mataji, and all, Vinaya Mataji, and whoever else was there who missed singing. Sorry, Panishwari Mataji, all of you, we'll have next session. We'll have our singing in our next class. That will be the last class of book 1. So please sing. And sorry, Vrinda Gopika Mataji asked me just to do one verse. So I will do one verse and then we'll end the call. And this is only recital, it's not singing. Okay. Shrutva gunan bhuvana sundara shanvatam te nirveshya karna vivarair haratungatapam rupam drisham दृशिमतामखिलार्थलाभम् त्वय्यच्युता विशति चित्तम् अपत्रपं मे. Thank you, Vrinda Gopika Mataji.
Mataji, did you say the translation before this verse, Mataji?
A translation also you want for this verse?
Yeah, Mataji, it will be nice.
Okay, Sri Rukmini said in her letter as read by the Brahmana, O beauty of the worlds, having heard of your qualities which enter the ears of those who hear and remove their bodily distress, and having also heard of your beauty which fulfills the visual desires of those who see, I have fixed my shameless mind upon you, O Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much for your very, very wonderful class. And after that, singing made very nice.
Thank you, Mataji. Yeah. So we'll end the call and thank you all so much again for your valuable association and have a great time in Sadhu Sangha. For all those who are going, please think about us. Please send pictures. We'll miss you a lot. Yeah, and we hope to see you next time. So we'll meet again next week and then we'll wrap up with book 1. After that, I am off to India and other places for 2 months, and then we'll continue book 2 in August. Okay. So thank you all so much. And whoever didn't sing today, please try to sing next time and please make us all very happy. Thank you all for your association. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyaivacha पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय.
श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. श्री श्री बृहद भागवतामृता की जय. प्रीति विलासनी माता जी की जय. Thank you so much, माता जी.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj, and all glories to Srila Sanatan Goswami, and all glories to all the wonderful singers, the adult singers and the kids singers on the call. Hare Krishna. Thank you all so much.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This session is no longer being recorded.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mataji. Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Goodbye.